Now to a success story for an Omaha man and his family, highlighting work to address poverty. As our Bella Caracta reports, it's through a program helping people find financial freedom.
Hi, Mr. Soltani. How are you today? Let's go to my office and we talk more about...
Esmatullah Soltani reached out to Heart Ministry Center in Omaha for help.
I will lose all these public benefits like food stamp, Medicaid.
Soltani bowed out of multiple promotional opportunities, worried about the cliff effect. The cliff effect is...
So if their income changes, the amount of the benefit that they receive could change, or they could lose the benefits totally,
leaving them worse off. The Heart Ministry Center wants clients like Soltani to lose their benefits, but only when they are ready.
The way it's set up is to make you learn how to save, but also Heart Ministry Center will give you money.
That money encouraged me and motivated me to do more and find different sources of income to support my family and make a future plan for my family.
After 6 months in the Heart Ministry Center's Cliff Effect program, he went from a caseworker to a program manager.
I got promotion, my wife got job, and I started doing Uber part-time as a side job.
Now, less than 3 years after first starting with the program, saving enough to put a down payment on a home in West Omaha.
Welcome in.
Success for us ultimately looks like folks not needing our services anymore.
Success to Soltani looks like
I achieved the biggest goal in my life.
having a roof over his head and being able to call it his own. In Omaha, I'm Bella Caracta, First Alert 6.
In the 3 years of the Cliff Effect program, 10 people have completed it successfully. Heart Ministry Center encourages people on public assistance wanting to reach out if they need help.